friends. We're going to do the third grade vocabulary reader called Kitchen Science. It is by Lisa Benjamin. In case you didn't know, ingredients, recipes, all science. Takes math and science to create those phenomenal meals. All right, we have some text and graphic features here. We have a table of contents so you can see what we're going to find on each of the pages. All right, let's try this. Science in the kitchen. Making a meal is sort of like doing a science experiment. In the lab, scientists heat things up or mix them together to watch them change. When you heat or mix foods and flavors, they change too. Scientists often follow instructions to do an experiment. So do cooks. Their instructions are called recipes. Like scientists, cooks also need tools. Tools help them warm, freeze, mix, and mash. You can see the pictures have captions there. This caption over here says science can be performed in a lab or a kitchen. All right, just make sure you can see all that. Yeah, got it. Okay. So, tools for measuring. You ready? Let me see if I can make this so that you can read it without me if you want. Without being blurry. Sheesh. You're baking a cake. The recipe calls for a teaspoon of salt, but you don't know how much that is. No need to get anxious about it. Just take out some measuring spoons. Measuring spoons help you figure out small amounts. Measuring cups help you figure out larger amounts. Your caption. It's hard to follow recipes without measuring cups. Tell me about it. My grandma had always used a pinch of this or um, she used all kinds of crazy sayings, but basically there were no measuring instruments other than her own hands. This says scales can measure almost any kind of food. Cooks often need to weigh food, but they don't get tense. Instead, they use scales. A scale tells you how many ounces or pounds something weighs. Tools for mixing. What do you think we're going to find on that page? That's right, friends. All about the tools that you use for mixing. Cooks often mix foods. Mixing makes something new. For instance, lots of different ingredients make up a salad. They may include lettuce, tomatoes, and cucumbers, among other things. To make a salad, cooks use knives to cut up the ingredients. Then they use big spoons to toss everything together. It's recommended that you cook with an adult's help. We wouldn't want you using the stove or oven without an adult. Cooks also use a tool called a blender. It helps them mix smoothies and shakes. A tasty shake can make anything seem more festive and fun. A food processor is another tool. Cooks use it to mix tomatoes and spices for salsa. They also use it to whip up sauces. They use it to mash together potatoes and cream, too. What do you think that makes? And it says blenders swirl liquids together to make a shake. Did anybody guess what that makes? Mashed potatoes. Mrs. X fave with hamburger gravy and turkey gravy. Tools for heating and cooling. Heating or freezing food changes it too. Sometimes cooks bake liquid batter to make a cake. Other times they chill liquid cream to make ice cream. Most kitchens have two big tools for these jobs. Ovens heat the food, freezers cool it down. This cook uses a tool called a torch to heat food. Do not try that at home. I've seen it on the cooking channel though. All right, here we go. Caption: you need a freezer to keep ice cream frozen. Either that or you better eat it fast. Good cooks always place close attention to the temperature in the oven or the freezer. Ovens and freezers have thermometers. You can set the oven to 350 degrees to bake a cake or to 450 degrees to cook a chicken. You can set a freezer to low to freeze ice cream. Cooks also need to know how long to heat food. A timer is a good tool for that. If you set a timer when you put something in the oven, the alarm will go off when the food is ready. Does anyone know at what degree water boils? That's right, 212 degrees. You have to have 212 degrees to get that water to boil. Tools for eating. When the cooking is done, the experiment is over. Time to grab some tools for eating. Forks, spoons, and knives help us cut and pick up food. Without them, we'd have to eat with our fingers. That would be messy. In Italy, if someone remarked that you were a good fork, that would mean you're a good eater. So don't get cross and think you're being called a tool. Caption: chopsticks are another tool for eating. Does anybody know what culture uses chopsticks? There's a continent that most of those ethnicities use chopsticks. That is correct. Your continent of Asia, where the Chinese and the Japanese and the Vietnamese and several others are located. All right, grab your paper.